Hello everyone, I'm Mingog, your favorite coach, and today I'm gonna talk about how to win in Team Elimination 5v5 RAOT. This is the first episode of a long series. I want to start by saying that this is my way of coaching, this is my way of thinking about RAOT. I encourage you to find your own way, but know that if you apply those principles to your team, you're gonna become a way better team. I guarantee you. Before starting, mechanics, okay? So this is a mechanical game. You can have all the strategy in the world. If you're bad, if you can't shoot, you're not gonna be able to win, okay? The foundation of everything are the players. You need to train, you need to play a lot in order to win, okay? This is really important. Then, I want to talk about flaring, because I'm not gonna talk about this later in the guide. The only thing you want to keep in mind is that you never want to get out-flared, okay? What that means is, if your opponent flares 3, imagine, and you flare only 2, this is bad, okay? You want to flare same number or at least more people than your opponent. Try to do that consistently, because if you don't, it's gonna lose your rounds. That's the only thing I want to say about flaring in this whole guide. Just focus on never getting out-flared. Now, the most important concept. In this game, it's Team Elimination 5v5. You need to be playing according to the TS count, okay? TS is the only weapon that can get you kills without any risk, okay? If you're ODM and you go fight, there is a risk you can die. With TS, there is no risk. It shoots from distance. You can get kills without taking risks. There's 3 different situations. There's the situation where, when you press tab, you have more TS. There's the situation where you have less TS. And there's the situation where you have the same number of TS than your opponent. We're gonna go over these 3 situations. If you have more TS than your opponent, it means that you have more poke pressure. So if you both stand still and do nothing, the team with more TS is gonna win on the long run, okay? Because if 1 TS shoots from the opponent and you have 2 TS shooting, if you play long rounds, most of the times you're gonna win. It means that your opponent has to make a move. If you have less TS than your opponent, it means the opposite, okay? So you have less poke pressure. So if you both stand still and do nothing, your opponent is gonna win more round on the long run, okay? Because you have only 1, imagine, and they have 2. So it's just a trade, uneven trade on the long run. So you have to make a move. Then there's the last situation. If you have the same number of TS, it means that you both have the same poke pressure. So if you both stand still and do nothing, nobody's gonna win, okay? It's a coin flip. Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's the opponent. But there's no way to win every time, okay? So you don't want that either. So both of you have to make a move. Both of you have to make a way to find an advantage. Now I'm gonna go over the play styles, okay? This is the introduction video, so I'm gonna go really quickly. And later in the guide, I'm gonna explain better, okay? There's 4 play styles. For me, there is poking, ratting, rushing, and slow pushing. Poking. You want to be poking only when you have more TS than your opponent. Okay? So if you press tab, you have more TS than your opponent, you want to be poking. What is poking? Poking is playing around your TS, okay? So you have Thundersphere players, maybe 1, maybe 2. That's gonna shoot. And you don't want to be fighting, okay? You want to protect your TS, flare, but you don't want to engage in any fight, okay? You just want to play around your TS and shoot. Why is that? It's because, like I said earlier, you have more poke pressure. So your opponent has to make a move. You don't have to make a move because you have more pressure. So on the long run, you're gonna win the round. That's why you should play poke when you have more TS. Then there's ratting. Okay, you want to use ratting when you have less or the same number of TS than your opponent. What is ratting? Ratting is flying around the map and killing the opponent TS. But you want to do this without team fighting, okay? The main goal of ratting is, imagine if your opponent has more TS than you and you kill your opponent TS, then you can go back into the poking playstyle, okay? Imagine if you both have 1 TS, you kill your opponent TS, you end up in a situation where you have more TS than your opponent, and then you can just poke. Do nothing, just wait and poke. Okay? You cannot do that if you both have the same number, or if you have less. So ratting is flying around the map, finding the TS player and killing him, but without taking fights, okay? You only focus the TS player. Then there's rushing, okay? Rushing you can use when you have less TS or the same number of TS than your opponent. It's a way to make a move. Rushing is complicated. I'm gonna go over in detail later, in later videos, but I'm gonna just say here that you need to get the proper setup, a good push setup, and then you need to force your opponent to rotate and cut off that rotation, okay? That's what rushing is. That's a way of playing. Then you have slow pushing, okay? You want to be using slow pushing only when you have the same number of TS than your opponent. Not if you have less, only if you have the same number, okay? And I'm gonna add that slow pushing is more interesting when the round starts, okay? In late round, I don't really like slow pushing. It's really good for when the round just starts, like 5v5, 4v5. Slow pushing is really good. What is slow pushing? It's just poking, but with space advantage on your opponent, okay? So you do the same as before I said in poking. You play around your TS, you flare, you protect your TS, but you need to do that with a space advantage, like you see in the picture.